paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
Are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brainstorm Brewery. And this is an episode with a crew brought to you straight out of perhaps the year 2014. It is me, Jason, and a guest this week. No DJ, no cast, an old school crew of the almost original hosts of the show.
No DJ, then who's going to hit the play button on a laptop and hold their head up to their headphones for the next hour and a half?
We've got a guest to do that this week, Jason. Welcome to the show, Matt Morgan. Welcome on. You all know him from EDHrec and the EDHrec Cast. Welcome to the show. How is your day going?
Well, a guy who I fired is doing my old job. You tell me. How should I be?
I want to say, it was on this very podcast at least 10 years ago that I was fired from my original writing gig for EDHrec.
You were.
Because I dared to say that I like Wisconsin beer more than Michigan beer. And now Jason and I work side by side. So Jason has a lot of power in the organization is what we're saying.
I'm drinking a Virginia beer to keep everybody quiet.
There you go.
But anyways, Corbin, life is good. It's been good since I've been. We were on the show like 5 years ago at least, talking about pre-cons, but it's been a while.
This was bottled in 2016.
It has been a while, especially anything like 2019 or earlier. That's a pandemic and a child ago for me. You know, like a lot has happened since then.
I mean, that was a divorce ago for me, so
it's a busy time for everyone, I guess.
It's a busy time.
Also, we were commenting that apparently the Royals, your team, as if anyone who's watching here on youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery, of course, can see, huge Royals fan. We were talking about baseball and how it's not Magic specifically.
No, I probably pay attention to traditional sports more than I do esports and Magic sports, especially. So yeah. Royals, Savannah Bananas are coming to town here soon. Corbin, you got to see them.
I did. It was
How
pretty
did
fun.
I know that the Kansas City Mavericks were the Kraken affiliate and you didn't? Shameful.
I pay zero attention to hockey. I'm sorry,
But it's
I'm not
I pay
sorry.
attention
I'm
to
not
all
sorry.
the sports except the one in my hometown.
If they would move I love hockey. If they would move the schedule, I'd care. But it's basketball season, man.
Basketball sucks. Even Charles Barkley would rather watch the NHL playoffs.
Well, and Corbin, it's not basketball season for you anymore because the Thunder just got eliminated.
Ooh.
I'm not sad. That's a
By
nice burn.
Luka
I'll give
and
it
the
to you. I'm not that
Thunder.
sad.
No more
This is
Thunder.
about what we expected this season.
Eliminated the Thunder.
We are ahead of schedule. It's okay.
They
I'm
went
not
under.
angry. I did work for the Thunder for several years. I am a fan. I appreciate the burn.
You made him chunder with that crack about
No,
the
I have a question for
Thunder.
both of you. This is relevant because Jason, I've never been to an Imagine Dragons concert, and I can tell you have based on what you're singing. However, I went to the Savannah Bananas game. We had outfield tickets, right? So I just stood in line for an hour.
What's an outfield ticket?
You get to sit out in the center field, hill, rather than a seat in the bleachers.
How's that different
Right?
from playing outfield? That's where they put you when you're bad at baseball,
Okay.
Sometimes.
right?
That's right. They put you in right field. Left field, you actually have to be pretty good. But,
You have to be able to run.
yeah, like right field
And
is where you
catch.
stick someone who's terrible.
Not just running. You'd be like, I got it, and then the ball hits you in the forehead.
Did you play baseball, Matt?
I did as a kid. I didn't in high school because we didn't have So my high school was so small we didn't have a baseball team because my graduating class was 37. So like we had football, basketball, track. That was the only sports you could do.
Understood. Yeah, I played a little baseball.
You
in
had
high
a
school.
basketball
That's
team
hard.
with only 37 kids total.
So that was my
can get
class.
that.
Yeah,
That wasn't
exactly.
the entire high school.
You managed to find out of 37 kids, you found 5
7.
who could play
Five?
basketball. 7.
5 to 7? Sure, easy.
Yeah.
It's who want to play basketball, Jason.
Who want to be the only people on the team and never get a break?
Five to
that
7.
in small town Kansas,
5 to
that's all
7.
you do. You do the sports or you just don't do anything. That's
I played all the sports
all
in
we
my
like.
high school and enjoyed it.
Yeah. Corbin gets it.
I do.
Jason, you're the one that's on the
But
out
listen,
here.
here's what I need to know.
I
So
played
watched
ice hockey, soccer, tennis. I swam 2-a-days. I was on the diving
Okay.
team, and I coached and refereed soccer, and I was a swim coach. And I was on the quiz bowl team, and that's sports.
How do you coach swimming besides don't drown?
Go
You
faster.
Help
Go
them
faster.
work. What are you talking
Go
about?
fast. So you tell them to go faster.
How do you think a person
No
who is
one
good at
knows.
swimming is faster than someone who's not?
They're born genetically
technique, right?
superior.
Well,
They're
no,
born
that's how
genetically
you. That,
superior.
no, that's how you
'Cause
get
Phelps has,
Lance
like, the
Armstrong,
12-foot
who.
That's what?
Lance Armstrong.
It's how you get the most famous swimmer of all,
No,
Michael
Lance
Phelps.
Armstrong took steroids,
God.
but everybody took steroids. If
Yeah,
everyone
we
takes,
know, man.
if everyone is taking steroids, then nobody is taking steroids.
Michael Phelps, the most famous swimmer, is famous for being genetically better than everyone else at swimming.
Yeah,
Because he has a 9-foot wingspan.
but
That's
if
why.
you're as dumb as Ryan Lochte, how do you get to be the second best swinger in the country?
What is
By
the
having a
answer,
good coach.
Jason? Okay.
And Ryan Lochte was one of the guys I coached in junior high. So you tell me. Was it genetics or was it my help?
Corbin
Is he like
didn't
the
coach
same age
anybody,
as
but
me
he
or
stole-
older? Is somebody gonna look that up? Is Ryan Lochte 40?
My God.
God damn it.
I don't think so.
I need
don't know.
another swimmer to embarrass the US so I know the name of a more current swimmer.
Okay, so this is the point of this question. At the Savannah Bananas, I get posted up in the outfield very early. It's
Yeah.
blindingly sunny and hot, but I get my choice of all the seats. So I get us a blanket down right at the very front behind center field next to the bullpen. Later, when they are playing and the guy is like throwing a ball out into the stands, of course, it's then thrown right where we are because we are in the middle of the outfield. So all the kids are around us. There's 15 kids around me in a scrum. The ball gets thrown at us, right? It bounces off the wall in front of us. It soars over all of these kids' heads. It lands on the ground right at my feet. All the kids just start diving. I just reached down, snatched that shit up, walked out. All the kids kept fighting over a different baseball that another kid had just like had on him. And at the end of it, this kid's like, I have it. And this kid's like, actually, that's mine. And I'm over here with the actual baseball, hand it to my son, who had a great time. Later, people are like, Corbin, you took the ball from all those kids. I'm like, man, I stood in line to get that spot. That ball was at my feet. And you know what? My kids' dreams were fulfilled. I just wanted to know where y'all stood on that.
Everyone who listens to this podcast is going to privately tell me that that's fucked up. That's what's going to happen.
I mean, so I think the question is, did you bring a glove to the game?
Of course.
And that's how you caught it? Okay,
I didn't catch
I
it.
think
Listen,
we
I
should
didn't
be-
catch it with the glove. I brought a glove to the game in case there's a home run. This is me standing in my designated seat. The ball rolls to my feet, and my 8-year-old is begging for it next to me. So I handed it to him.
I mean, you gave it to your 8-year-old.
You gave it to a kid.
I think, yeah.
Well, that's why.
I
Like,
do
is it
think-
unfair that I participated at all, even though it was like
No!
thrown at me?
No,
If your
it's
kid
not
hadn't
unfair
been
that-
there and you handed it to a random 8-year-old, everyone would have acted like you were a fucking hero. So, like, I don't see the difference.
Okay, man.
Yeah,
I felt a little. I didn't know if that. I didn't know.
Did
in
you
the moment I
elbow a
just did
kid
it.
to get the ball? Did you
No, I
elbow a
didn't.
kid?
Wait, just they were all fighting over a fake ball, and it was just like, whoop. Just
the red flag to me isn't that you gave it to your 8-year-old. That's cool. The fact that like you brought a glove and you're over the age of 17, that's my red
no,
flag.
because we spent. They have a cage. They have a cage, and my son and I went and played catch for several of the innings, which is clutch to getting your kid through a baseball game, even when it's a Savannah Bananas game. That's an entirely defensible
All right.
play. I didn't
Baseball
have
is
the
so
glove on.
boring. You have to have other activities at the park.
Well, and that's the whole point of Savannah Bananas. It's very fun. It's very exciting. Unless you're in the outfield and all those skits they do for the infield, you don't get a seat. So we spent some time on the playground, but it was a good time overall. Would recommend it. Let's move on to the Magic. One of the things we wanted to talk about, Matt, specifically about here today is a project that he has been working on. We've talked about it a lot on this show. But what is the current status of Cardsphere? Now, some of you might know it as a trading platform. Some of you might not have heard of it at all. We've come a long way from the days of sort of the original trading platforms 8-9 years ago that turned out to ultimately not work out very well. But Cardsphere
I still
has
use
always been back.
Deckbox all the time.
Deckbox, there you go. MTGO traders or whatever it was, and
Mount Gox,
yeah.
actually.
Oh, for sure.
I keep waiting for my Mount Gox account to open back up, but the guy who started it like said he had some legal issues or something. I don't know.
But Cardsphere is like the grown up version. Like sometimes I describe Magic as like the grown up version of Pokemon to people. Cardsphere is like the grown up version of all those other services. But we wanted to talk about it, so that's how I can explain to people in one sentence. For people who are unfamiliar, Matt, what is sort of Cardsphere's entire place in the community?
So Cardsphere has kind of become the only real place that you can do peer-to-peer trading. Except it's the real difference in peer-to-peer trading. So people will talk about there's marketplaces out there. There's TCG Player, there's Mana Pool, there's all sorts of different folks out there where you can sell your cards on their platform. The difference is Cardsphere really is kind of flipping around. So it's instead of buyer initiated, it's seller initiated. So you can go on there and you can see a list of everybody's offers that they have on Cardsphere. So say, Jason, you want to get 20 copies of whatever card, Wedding Ring, and you want to pay 50% of...
Well, Helm of Possession. I
index
actually
card.
do want 20 Helms of Possession. I'm going to put those on my want list right now, actually.
Yeah, so what you do, you go to Cardsphere, you put out there whatever cards you want, and there's going to be an index price that Cardsphere gets together, and you just list all the cards that you want. You accumulate that list. Well, say I go on there and I'm trying to get rid of cards, I will go on to Cardsphere and it's going to show me all of the people that want the cards I have. And so it's seller initiated. So you go to a marketplace of buyers instead of a marketplace of sellers. So that's one way that just Cardsphere for me has just kind of gotten rid of buy listing anymore, because I can go on there and I can see that Jason's paying 70% of the market price out there, which is better than any buy list out there. So I'm just going to send him all the copies of Helm of Possession or whatever else I have out there.
So it works out too, because if you don't need cards, you can send them off, say when you think they have value, and you get credit for them. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so say a card spikes, you can send it off or whatever. So one thing we actually do have in Cardsphere to make sure people don't get housed. So say Vein Ripper just wins a Pro Tour or whatever.
Right.
We have stopgaps in place. So say if a card spikes overnight, Cardsphere, you can set limits on your offers that you're going to go out
You can
there.
say
So-
I'll pay 75% of the market value. And if 75% of the market value tomorrow is 200% of what it was today, it won't go over the emergency price
That's good.
ceilings.
No, that's good. That helps prevent abuse, which is one of the things people
Yeah.
really care about when it comes to a platform like this. It's ultimately going to be built entirely on trust.
Yeah, 100%. So it is nice. I mean, I've been trying to get copies of some cards and they're slowly creeping up in price, like Trouble in Pairs.
Yeah.
It's not near as cheap as it was when it first came out. And so, yeah, it's slowly going up there. So every probably 4 or 5 days at a time, I had to go in there and update my offer because it just kept getting more and more expensive and it would cap out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll ask the question that must be asked. Are there any, let's say, additional incentives that are added into the system? Things that, I don't know. I don't want to give them a name, but just things that might, I don't know, deflate the value of what your credit.
It's kind of like in hockey.
That.
We'll call them puck points. So it's like
puck
hockey.
points. Good point. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
That makes sense to me.
I think Cardsphere benefited from watching Puka Trade go full Hindenburg before they launched.
Well, and the difference is we actually have within our company too. We have a CPA. We have somebody who understands how finances work, and so all the points that are put into the system are actually from people either buying in with cash or sending cards, and that all goes to a central bank account that we don't touch. We don't. It just sits there. That's only there.
Ultimately the difference that matters.
It's the escrow.
Yeah.
Every dollar in the system is backed up.
Yeah, and it's
Right.
technically it's not escrow if you want to get actually about it, but
everybody
it's-
knows
it's been a
what.
holding
Listen,
account. Yeah.
the point
Yeah.
for listeners though is that, and this is why we've always talked up Cardsphere, is that unlike Puka Trade or anything else that attempted, there's no median currency that exists. There's no Twitch bits here that only exists to make money for the third party involved. Everything is a dollar for dollar value, so it's an honest trading.
If there's
actually
$1.17 in
trading
your
platform.
account, it's because you saw somebody was paying $1.17 on a card you had. You sent it to them. They clicked yes, I received the card, and you were credited that $1.17. That's
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 there's
where
no points.
so all the money is backed by an actual transaction.
So what?
Yeah,
What is the pitch now? Obviously, there's been some work on the back end of the site. What is new that people should care about now if they haven't looked at Cardsphere in the past?
I mean, just the fact that like we're stepping in and kind of making sure that everything's running smoothly. Like the tech end of it, the UI is getting better. We do have a bunch of upgrades too that we're really excited about. They're not quite ready yet, but it is something that we've had a team working on. Just doing complete overhaul of just the user experience. What does it look like? The matching system is something that we're also kind of souping up a little bit. But if you haven't checked out in a while, just in general, the site has changed almost completely in the past 5 years anyways. So really just going out there and finding out, okay, well, like this population has actually kind of increased. The users are there now. And so it's not kind of where it was in the early days where, there's 3,000 users. There's way more out there.
Yeah, that ultimately is what makes any marketplace work. As we've seen, when one marketplace tends to centralize and dominate, aka TCG player, over the years, we've never seen another successful, like truly large scale successful marketplace launch and last long term in the United States.
I'm way too lazy for TCG player, because when it started, I could just list a bunch of shit on eBay, right? And then it was still taking me like an hour to list like 15 items. And then even with batches on TCG player, I still didn't like having to just like put the condition of everything ahead and all that stuff. As a seller, just going on PucaTrade, typing in the name of a card, seeing what people are paying, and yanking just that card, I only have to care about the cards I want to get rid of versus all the ones I'm trying to move. So with it being a platform where the person who does the work is the one who sees what somebody's willing to pay, for me, somebody who has cards and wants money, it's much better for me to just only have to worry about the one card I have. I don't have to create the listing for it. The listing's already there.
And certainly people, it still preserves the idea as if you trade out 100 $5 cards, then you have $500 to buy yourself a dual land, right? Is that a thing that people can do on the platform?
Oh yeah, people do it all the time. That's kind of what I've been working towards too. And I kind of like what Jason was talking about. You don't have to go full on store mode to take advantage of it. I have a personal binder that I just have, I would say it's probably 100 cards. And that's all I have on my ones because that's all that I can take time out of my schedule to manage. And so you don't have to do this. The scale is so much more maintainable, especially if you're that small to mid-level trader. It actually gives you a platform to do that again. And yeah, you build up your credit, you build up however much cash is on your account, because it really is cash, and you build it up, and then you can either sell out, you can cash out all the credit you have. And we do keep, that's how we make our money to run the site, is we do take a little bit of a cut when you cash out, and you actually take care of that because there's fees with financial transactions and all that.
But it's less than TCG player.
It's significantly less than TCG player, especially if you're just trying to move cards and you're not trying to cash out. It's amazing because that's when you really get to just stack up everything. You're getting better prices than buy lists. You're controlling what you're doing. And it's just, for me at least, because I'm not a financer, I'm not DJ, I'm not, nickel and diming literally everything. I'm just trying to maximize my time to payoff ratio. And Cardsphere has just been like that perfect happy medium for me, where I can make sure, because it doesn't take a lot of time either. I just check my sends page. If there's a good offer out there, I'll click commit, I'll send the card out. And if I don't like it, then I just move on.
If you want to pay 100% of market today, TCG player is great. If you want to pay 70% of market sometime in the next month for like a dumb foil, like I wanted a foil Cascading Cataracts, right? I just somebody will eventually send it to me for this, and like 2 weeks later it happened. So Cardsphere is very much just, for me, I'm not using it as a finance guy. I'm using it as an EDH player who like opens packs because I'm an addict, gets cards I don't want, and wants to build the same Omnath deck 6 different times. So I need 6 burgeonings. So I need Cardsphere. I don't want to pay 100% of TCG market for 6 burgeonings. I want them sent to me as I'm building decks. So if there's no immediate need to get the cards, Cardsphere is great. But if you have a card and you would like to get rid of it immediately, it's good too.
Yeah. Well, one of the best set of cards to get rid of are the cards that always come up in our Breaking Bulk segment, which is what I think we're headed to next, because this is the best way. If you have, we talked about sending out a bunch of cheap cards and getting something expensive. What better way to unload your $2 or $3 uncommons?
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
And I need him because in the time it took Matt to explain to Corbin about how to list stuff, I said I wanted 20 Helms of Possession on Cardsphere. So now I need money in my account to get them.
What is Helm of Possession, Jason? What is this card you're talking about?
Oh, it's from Tempest. You sack a creature and you gain control of a creature as long as this Helm of Possession remains tapped. So you basically, you swap.
But are you allowed to choose not to untap
You
Helm of Possession?
certainly are.
Ooh.
I see.
No force untapping.
No force. This is a Tempest card. This is back when lawyers were writing card names. Should it please the courts, like Cluffian Tomb, therefore makes the creature limited to, but not entirely relegated to, a 2/2.
All right, I'm going to start Breaking Bulk off with what I think is an easy one here. It is a colorless uncommon from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Not easy for Jason as we watch him cheat.
It's a whom? It's a whom?
As we watch him Google things and his screen flash up.
No, I lost the window with my Breaking Bulk, so I have to go figure out what it was. I
Colorless uncommon.
No, if I'm cheating, how did I not hear what you said?
Colorless uncommon, Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
Colorless
Jason couldn't have been cheating because he wasn't paying attention to begin with.
Yeah, if I'm cheating, how come I'm so bad at this game, huh? Say that, Mr. Smart Guy. If I'm cheating, how come I never once get it right? You idiot. Is it the dynamite? I'm just gonna name Wild West shit. Is it the hat, the dynamite, or the train?
No, none of the above.
There was there's like a boomy thing.
There's a card called Boombox.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't actually know if that's true. But
There
also
probably is a
no.
card called Boombox. Also no.
I haven't opened a pack of Thunder Junction yet.
No, it's not
Briber's
a
purse or whatever. Okay.
There's no purses in the Wild West, Jason.
There's saddlebag then.
There's satchels.
Okay, no, it's none of that.
This ain't a purse, it's a man satchel. It's got one strap, I wear it around one shoulder, and I keep my lip gloss in it. It's not a purse. I'll shoot you in the face. I'm a cowboy.
Is it an artifact then, I'm guessing?
Is it the steel horse that Bon Jovi rode on in that music video?
No, but it is apparel related.
Is it Lava Spur boots? Because
Lava Spur boot. Yeah, the boots with the Ward 1.
Is it Lava Spur boots?
Yes.
All right.
Hey, guys, you know what's a good break-in bulk? Lightning Greaves. Yank those out. Hey, guys, you know how you're going to bulk out all those soul rings? Don't do it. This card's already getting played in Legacy, you piece of... What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Lava Spur boots? I didn't say it initially because it was too obvious. This isn't a... Oh, you said it was easy. Oh, no. Matt, he said it was going to be easy.
Well, I mean...
Matt, he warned us. I don't listen.
He said it was going to be... He said it was going to be easy.
He did. He said that. And then it was easy. And I'm like, you hole. I'm sorry. I clearly wasn't paying attention.
We didn't trust Corbin enough to not lie to us. And here we are just embarrassed.
Mine is not much better. I think you guys are going to get this instantly.
I mean, I also, I haven't opened a pack of Thunder Junction yet, so I had no idea. But as soon as you said Lava Spur boots, I'm like, oh, no, it's the boots with Ward 1. Like, I knew exactly what it was.
He said it was apparel related. He handed it to me.
Yeah.
He's like, it's from Thunder Junction. It costs 1 mana. It gives the creature ward, and it's clothing related. I'm like, you asshole. You should have picked a hard one.
I said it was easy.
It's not that these were made for walk-in.
And then you told me it was an equipment. And I'm like... Okay, mine is not from Thunder Junction. It is from Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, and it is a green uncommon.
Intish Restoration.
You, Matt, you're fired. You couldn't even guess wrong once or yeah.
No, did I shot in the blanket?
You
Or
got
dark?
it, man. I didn't. I thought you would guess.
Good cards are good cards.
It's $2 though. It's like far from the most expensive green uncommon in that set. But it's the one I get in bulk for whatever reason. There are so many 3-mana cards that like, ooh, go get a basic, that are all worth like a bunch of money, but people who don't play EDH don't really know the difference between like Lay of the Land and Cultivate for some reason. So for whatever reason, I still get Entish Restoration in, not that I get a ton of LOTR bulk, but like the people who do have a lot of that bulk seem to know what to pick, because I'm not getting bats, but I am getting a lot of these. So, hey, apparently it wasn't as sneaky as I thought, because I should have said this one's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well,
Why didn't I just say that?
You should have.
I open
Get
I
good.
open more Lord of the Rings than like any other set maybe ever for myself. So like wrong right. But like also it's a better Harrow for most decks.
Yeah, it's a sweet
Sure.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
I'm
real
just
good.
like, one person sent these in bulk. I'm like, everybody's dumb.
I mean, look, man, it's such a good pick for a breaking bulk that I made it. On
Matt, do
April
you have a
1st.
super obvious one too?
I feel like anything from any of those special Universe Beyond sets, just in general, even the bulk is going to be gold. Like I was thinking the same thing about Fallout the other day too.
Yep.
Like even the uncommons from Fallout are just great, and just don't get rid of any of the bulk from those sets. But anyways, Jason, yes, I do have one. I got to fit in. So I have a common from Murders at Karlov Manor, not Markov Manor.
Oh,
What
I've never
color?
heard of Karlov.
It is-
Manor.
It is a white common.
So I'm in the tank a little bit, because do I point out that Matt asked both of us if this had been picked before, and therefore
It is
not a good card for a guessing game? Because like we hadn't picked it before, but also he asked
yeah.
us, "Hey, has
Yeah.
anyone picked Novice Inspector?" So
That is true.
knowing that,
Yeah, I was in the tank as well. I'm not gonna lie.
But yes, it is. Novice.
Matt's like, unlike most guests, I show up prepared with a breaking bulk pick. It's Novice Inspector. Good luck guessing it, idiot.
Well, I was just making sure I didn't want to repeat anything. But it is a good pick,
Well,
though.
but here's what you look. You don't understand. You need to understand how this game works. There are no rules, but here's the rules of the game.
Mhm.
I made a good normal pick. Jason got mad at me. I lose. Jason made a pick that I made a month ago, but no one got it. He feels like a winner because like he sounds so smart. He got mad at you. He turned it back.
I got
on
mad at
you.
you. I turned it
And
around on you for
actually
guessing
checked.
it.
You actually did your homework. You did the
did.
wrong thing. Yeah, you shouldn't have done it. You
You
just got to
fucking
come in.
moron.
Yeah.
I'm the Savannah Bananas of podcast guests. I'm not an actual professional. I'm semi-pro, but like I'm trying. But yeah, so Novice Inspector, it's just 3-bit Inspector 2.0. It's a quarter on TCG Player, and it's a common. And if you're seeing people still do drafts of this set, it's going to be on tables because nobody cares about the commons.
All of these breaking bulks and picks of the week come to you courtesy of mtgstocks.com, the best source on the internet for all of your Magic financial information. We recommend them. We've been using them for a decade or more at this point, probably more, honestly. And we highly recommend checking it out, as well as looking at the premium side of the website, where you can set alerts, have inventory numbers for... You can have a watch list for the cards that you're wanting to keep an eye on, and inventory. There is a lot that you can do on the premium side of the website. So check out mtgstocks.com. We always appreciate it. And what's this? I'm getting a call in from DJ. DJ says there's a pick of the week, and it's Magic's most famous 08.
That's a pick of the week or breaking?
I'm sorry,
bulk?
breaking bulk. Yes, that is a... DJ's breaking bulk is Magic's most famous 08.
Wall of 0808. Don't tell me.
Famous 08.
08.
I'm not
Now I'm
gonna lie.
going through all-
DJ just gave me his breaking bulk, but I added that part.
What did he say about
What-
it? What were the
which-
clues DJ gave?
He
Yeah.
gave no clues.
He gave the card name,
Yeah.
and it's an 08.
Well, he said
color?
what set it was from.
Well, what set did he say it was from, Corbin?
Alara Reborn.
So it's the wall.
Oh, Wall of Denial.
Ah, it's Wall of Denial. You see why
There
we
we
need to
go.
make it harder.
Yeah, I do now.
Wall of Denial.
You did
Is that
make it.
Magic's most famous 08?
I knew it was a wall. I just couldn't think of it.
Oh, yeah? Good
But
job.
when you told me the set, yeah.
It's a $5 foil. It's been coming down in price because it's been hit in several reprints, including Commander Masters, which might give you an opportunity to pick it up cheap, as that's a more recent set. But yeah, Wall of Denial still 75
Was that
cents.
the first 08? Because I thought Wall of Wonder was 08,
Couldn't
but
tell
it
you.
turns out, no, it was, after all, it was a Wonder Wall.
Anyway.
I see what you tried to do there.
Tried?
I appreciate it.
I put a shitty song in your head. That song's in your head now.
It never
Did I
leaves my-
try
it
or did
never-
I succeed?
No, it never leaves my head, Jason, since I first heard it when I was 12
Today
years
was
old.
going to be the day. I like that Blur just made fun of Oasis and then Oasis went away. That was all that song too was. It was that song was called
never went away.
Oasis Sucks. They went
Oasis
away.
is still, they're with us today, right here
With
in
us
this
today.
podcast.
Are they with us in the building?
Yes,
Oasis?
they're with us in this podcast. You just sang it.
I mocked them for existing. They exist the same way that Smash Mouth singer isn't dead because somebody will say some and someone else will go, body once told. Yeah, see? Is that guy alive? No, he's not. His liver exploded and I don't look like him.
Not anymore.
We don't. He lost a lot of weight
Yeah, because they
from
cremated
putrid. He wasn't the sharpest tool in the
tool
shed.
in the shed. God.
And the crematorium shed.
It was dark. Oh.
He was looking kind of
No.
dumb because he got cirrhosis.
Oh, I can't. I liked Smash Mouth. Man.
The years stopped coming.
I liked it.
All
All right, moving on. Moving on to something just
He
as
was
depressing.
anti-vax right before he died. I would have felt bad if I hadn't learned that.
I didn't know that.
I don't know if he was anti-vax or he's like, COVID restrictions won't let me play county fairs, and that's all of my... I get Shrek 2 DVD sale revenue, and I get county fairs, and you took away my county fairs.
Was that Toby Keith or was it Smash Mouth?
It was
Toby
both.
Keith was huge, man.
Was.
He'll put a boot in
I
your
mean,
ass
yeah.
because that's the American way.
So the big news this week out of the trading card world is that GameStop is going to be part of the trading card world. And I didn't think that I'd ever have to care about like the GameStop stock meme. You know, how it's a meme stock and it goes up and down. Like I didn't think that would ever interact with my little world of trading cards, and yet here we are. GameStop is going to begin buying and selling graded Pokemon cards with plans to expand into other games beyond that.
Weird. It's almost like the people who bought the GameStop stocks as a meme also bought slabbed Pokemon cards during that whole craze. And now they have a bunch of worthless slabs because nobody wants the ooh, I have the Doug Trio with the white star. Yeah, everyone has that dip. And now they have nothing but worthless slabs and GameStop stock, and they're trying to use one to make the other one less worthless. The
I
bottom
think that
fell
there's some
out
truth to that, yes.
of the Logan Paul turned the eye of Logan Paulamon onto Pokemon, and then like everybody was slabbing everything. We got 5 fly-by-night slabbing companies that came out of the woodwork, and they're already like, no, I guess you don't need us because that was a bubble.
Well, I had like...
It turns out we
my-
are 2 $1,000 checks away from all of our collectibles just being worth like crazy money. We are universal basic income would ruin every hobby. I think this has proven that, right?
Well,
We got 2 months
the
of
idea
UBI
yes.
and GameStop is a meme company selling worthless Pokemon slabs.
Well,
That's 2 months of
I had,
UBI.
I had like a 11, 12-year-old cousin coming up to me asking me about slabbing cards a couple years ago, and that's when I was like, "Whoa!" They were trying to save up money to get like their random cards slabbed, and they don't have any. They didn't even have like they didn't know what a TCG player was,
Oh my
so like they
God.
didn't know what their card was worth.
And you
money.
didn't
They
tell
just
that
know it
story
looked
on the
cool.
podcast? you remember when JFK's dad said he knew the stock market was going to crash when he got stock advice from a shoe shine boy? You should have known the slab market was going to crash when your cousin was
listen,
like...
I didn't know that there was a market to crash. I didn't know that much about it. Like, I still like am not an expert on it.
I still don't. I managed to not lose any money.
Thing. Like, yeah.
I stayed out of it.
Yeah, you know, look, it is what it is, I guess, but collectibles are what they are. But listen, is the natural endpoint of this GameStop just selling Magic singles as Magic singles?
No.
I don't know.
No, because they're not going to make any money on Magic slabs, so why would they go deeper into Magic singles?
Maybe.
They're not going to make any money because the slabs are being sold at GameStop because they're not selling elsewhere.
Yeah, I agree. Look,
so the market is flooded with slabs because of like that dumb craze during COVID. There's a lot of they have a bunch of worthless video game slabs too, because someone's like, oh, someone paid $50,000 for like Breath of the Wild still sealed. Get every video game, and then GameStop is trying to sell that bullshit.
Yeah,
because every video game can be downloaded. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to swap out discs. You have all the games on your computer hard drive. Right?
Until you don't, like, I
guess, but like
for physical media or not, like.
But the GameStop stock was doing badly for a reason. It's a company that buys old games for pennies on the dollar. They're basically a pawn shop where the employees wear polo shirts. And they should have been allowed to go out of business. And it's funny that they stayed in business. And it's funny that occasionally they'll be like, oh man, we shouldn't have bought all these Magic Gathering packs because nobody buys them. We're doing BOGO. Buy one booster pack, get 3 free. And then I show up at GameStop for the first time in 2 years. It's a 2010 company. What do you want from me? Are they going to join the 21st century by selling Pokemon slabs 3 years after they were worth anything? Fucking no. This is funny because it's like the dudes who are the dumbest but think they're the smartest that think, oh, Hollywood's woke and it's bad. When you give them what they want GameStop selling Pokemon slabs. And that's proof that we shouldn't listen to these guys about anything.
Jason had some big thoughts on this one.
That's my opinion.
I think that this news is as relevant as, like you said, physical media in general. I think physical media is dead, and GameStop as a physical media stop. That's kind of all you need to know.
In 10 years, we're gonna be like, we should have listened. I could have bought a video game for $5 at GameStop. Instead, I let PlayStation just take it away from me.
I mean, yeah, that's what, like, a physical media is actually on the rise again because of
I have all my
how
DVDs.
much bullshittery there is.
Because Jurassic Park got taken off of Netflix and my son cried.
I mean,
so we went to Disc Trader that afternoon.
You go to watch old shows and they don't have the rights to the songs that were originally in the show. And now you're just watching it with some made-up bullshit song. Well, that's what's coming to you for Magic. Look, I don't know. What's interesting is if GameStop simply, like, offered tier trade-in prices on collections and then just
could be the world's best
trained a minimum wage employee to scan those cards into the TCG Player app and then give those people amounts of store credit to spend on overpriced PS5 games, it does seem like they could make roughly infinite money. And maybe that's a gateway to this, but maybe not. It's wild to me that companies like this, because, like, say you go into, like, Barnes and Noble, like, there's a lot of companies that, by trying to still exist, have got really tantalizingly close to the market. There was one, like a Hastings chain, that was attempting to go deep on it, like near me at some point. Like, there's these companies that are really adjacent to it, and none of them have just, like, done the basic thing of figuring out how to do it at scale and then training minimum wage employees to do it because they can do that because it's GameStop. Like, I don't know. It's kind of scary when you think about it that way, right? Like, right now we have all these Magic endemic companies that offer buy lists that we all look at. What if GameStop just came and just, like, ate up the bottom of the buy list market?
I mean, it is kind of scary that, like, we can joke and, like, say, like, how GameStop is such a terrible company, but, like, they've managed to last. If, like you said, Corbin, if they got their shit together and actually, like, took it seriously, they could actually do really well.
They're a company that their whole business model is paying pennies on the dollar, and it was hard for them. When people are lining up 150 deep at midnight to pay $70 for a new game, and also they'll buy it in 2 weeks when you're done with it for $3 and sell it for $68.
I don't
Like-
know if people are doing that anymore, though, Jason.
Yeah, but like that was their whole business model. Like when you can't
Yeah, it was.
be rich doing that, like any amount of competition is going to destroy you. GameStop has always sucked, and
GameStop still exists, though.
That's
A
still-
lot of them don't.
it's still around. Yeah, the
Yeah.
longevity is like the wild part to me, just on so many different levels. But the fact that like
because we
they're
didn't go to the
everywhere.
places that didn't gouge us. Remember
they're still
Babbage's and
around.
places like that, Electronics Boutique, places like that didn't gouge us as much. They're gone.
I mean, I also had the same Hastings adjacent vintage
Mhm.
stock in my area, and I mean up where I'm at now too, and like somehow they're still kind of lingering around, but even then like they're disappearing. But GameStop is still around. It just
Vintage
I
stock
don't know
is
how
the
they
one
do
that
it.
gets me. Vintage stock should be the #1 retailer of physical Magic cards, and they're
They
just
could be.
incompetent.
yeah.
They put out graded stuff. They
Pitch
put out
them.
tons of product, but
Send them an email. Say, I'll take over your Magic and I'll double your money just by not being a complete fucking moron.
See, I had a buddy when I lived in Joplin, Missouri, who he worked for a shop. He went and took over the vintage stocks in the area, did that, and it still wasn't good enough, and they fired him, even though like he grew their business like 10x.
exactly what you do. That's what I was going to say. Is I've had the experience of going into some place and
It's
teaching them how to do
MBAs, like this.
teaching them how to do something really well, just for them to drop you and say, actually, we think all of our normal employees can do this, and we'll just take advantage of all the people you've brought into the store over the past several years,
Mhm.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so that's the downs. Like, why would you want to do that over? If you're feeling like that's what you want to do with your life is grind out Magic singles, why go do that for $60,000 a year or whatever you're going to get paid at vintage stock just for them to take it and lay you off or whatever?
No, I'm
right?
saying
Like,
pitch corporate. Tell them you'll teach them how to run every store.
all right, before we get out of here this week, we of course want to talk about our picks of the week. We think we bring you every week of cards we think are going to go up. We found these on mtgstocks.com, and I'll just go ahead and
Wait, we got to do
no
the
bit.
intro song.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
No bit here. DJ's pick is in.
No,
go
let's
ahead,
do the,
Jason.
let's do the intro song. It's
Let's
the
hear it.
only fucking segment you care about. You fast forwarded right to this. You don't care about the podcast. You just want a card you think's gonna make you money because you suck. You.
Honey.
Picks.
Thank you for that, Jason.
It's a
you're
better
dressed like
song than the last one.
You're dressed like a deck box, but you sing like a music box. Appreciate that.
I don't let mommy get no sleep at night like a squeeze box. Am I right?
No, I don't know what that means, and I don't know if you're right, but I hope you're wrong.
Matt gets it.
That's also, it's weirdly the second time in a week that somebody's made a reference to that song, which is 2 more than in the past like 20 years ever, like worldwide.
2 more than needed, that's for sure. All right,
Yeah.
pick of the week. DJ's is in. It's Eldrazi themed because everything's Eldrazi themed. Modern Horizons 3 is coming. It's bringing with it Eldrazi, and
And it's
the
bringing
set
with
actually-
us a creative bankruptcy that is going to linearize all the Eldrazi decks, which means any card that goes in that deck will go in all of them. So everything's going to spike super hard.
well,
All that
everything
context is
spiking.
like whatever DJ is about, or Corbin's about to say is DJ's picks is going to be
Yeah,
good.
well, that's what everything is spiking because of this phenomenon, especially since the leaks kind of made everything weird, and we got a lot of it early. So, kind of the only thing that's hyped people up over the past week or 2 at this point, I guess, has been some of the Eldrazi stuff that's come out. I don't know, but DJ is looking at It That Betrays as the thing that fetches all the as a very powerful Eldrazi at the top end that you can bring out with a lot of the new ones. It's just a great card, so it's hard to argue with them on that one,
And
to be
it's-
quite honest.
It's probably the best Eldrazi. It's the one where it has to have Annihilator 1, because if it had more than that, it would just be the most Eldrazi of all time. That's a very good card, and I love it.
Yeah, this card is very sweet, for sure.
It's the only Eldrazi in a ton of my decks. Because look what it does, man. It takes their stuff.
Yeah, they sacrifice a fetch land and you get it. It's so broken, you know.
Cool.
But yeah, that's where DJ's at. I'm gonna come in with another Modern Horizons 3 inspired pick, but not quite the same. Thought Monitor. If you can get this card around $1 to $2. It's starting to move up from there. By the time you listen to this episode, it might be 3 or 4, but Thought Monitor is really good, and we're seeing affinity support, actual affinity type mechanics that seem like they could go into a deck. There's at least going to be an attempt with MH3 to give the archetype some juice. And Thought Monitor was just in Commander the Brothers War. It was in Modern Horizons 2. It was in Commander Murders at Karlov Manor. So it's pretty cheap, around $1, but it's starting to move up from there. So I'm a big fan of Thought Monitor, especially probably the retro bordered one if you can get it.
Thought Monitor was my nickname in college.
Was it though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had a computer that had a brain on the side. I called it my Thought Monitor.
Well, and what did that computer spit out for your pick of the week this week, Jay?
Pictures of slutty chicks. Thought Monitor. All right. My pick of the week is Case, not Curse. There are curses.
True.
My pick of the week is Case of the Locked Hothouse.
That sounds cool.
A hothouse is made of glass, so if it's locked, you're the world's laziest detective. Damn, if only I had the key to this locked hothouse, I could know what was inside. You're an idiot.
Get him, Jason.
You don't need 7 lands, you just need a pair of fucking eyeballs. Glass Onion sucked, is what I'm saying. I was so ready for Glass Onion to be good. How do you... All right, I'm sorry. Case of the Locked Hothouse is an EDH all-star, and it's under $5 right now. And some sites are selling it for under $2? What? This card is too good to be $2. It's very boring. It's going to go in a lot of decks. Any deck that gets land really loves being able to play the top card of their library. This card's dumb. It's just dumb. Okay? And it shouldn't be under $5, and it won't be for long. So I'm going to Cardsphere right now, and I'm going to say I want a bunch of Case of the Locked Hothouse, and you should do that too. Because I don't want to buy my specs. I want them to be sent to me.
Well, and you don't want to buy your specs. You want to buy them at 70% of the index price too.
Yeah. Also, if you don't think this card's going to pop this week, but it will eventually. I'm looking at this card on the basis of the fact that, like, the #1 most popular commander from Bloomburrow spoiled so far is Lumra Bellow of the Woods. So I think green cards are going to be good in EDH when that comes out.
Yeah, reasonable. All right, Matt, we'll give you the honors of going last as the guest. What are you looking at for pick of the week?
So I mentioned earlier anything from any supplemental sets, Fallout, Lord of the Rings, Assassin's Creed, all that stuff. All of it's really good, but also it gets out of people's attention span real quick, which means a lot of the cards that are super cheap because people didn't care about them immediately, they're going to get expensive. A card that just has absolutely crushed every Commander game that I've seen it played in is Idolized. It's $1.
Oh, Idolized is wild.
It's it's basically all that glitters 2.0. It's 1 and a white for an aura. Whenever this creature attacks alone, it gets +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of non-land permanents you control.
Wow.
So it counts all your tokens,
Yeah.
all your everything. It's absolutely nuts. People think, well, it has to attack alone. Well, like, okay, well, I'm playing some Voltron deck that's only attacking with 1 creature anyway, so it doesn't matter. This card's $1 for the base version. The Showcase Surge Foil is $25, and that's going to get marked up. So, like, any of the special versions of this, any Showcase stuff on Idolized is going to get absolutely wild. I was buying it above the index price on Cardsphere. That was my offer, and it still took me almost a month to get this card. So, like, something like that tells me there's just not a lot of copies out there, that people aren't even taking an offer above the index price.
Or there aren't enough people who listen to this podcast and realize there's a place where they can just be like, oh, you said you will accept a card at this price?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you made your own buy list set up there. Nice.
Cool.
But yeah, Idolized it's just rad. It's super popular. It's not super popular. Well, I mean, it's fairly popular. Super powerful is what I'm trying to say. And it's only $1, and just they're not going to make any more of it.
Well, that's what I write the movers and shakers column on TCG Player every week, and almost every week there's a new, over the past 6 months or whatever year, there's been a new Warhammer card on there, and Fallout, and then there's some Doctor Who stuff, and now Fallout is just going to be the same way. Every week you have some new
EDH
uncommon
cards,
popping.
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
they're
just not making
all
more of them.
commander cards.
Yeah.
They're all great. But yeah, Doctor Who's another really good one. Where like there's just random uncommons. Granted, I mean everything was pre-con, so there is no
Yeah.
like the uncommons are just as common as the rares. So
but that
the rarity
set
doesn't
was
matter.
90%. Like Doctor Who was like the first time they're like, we cannot possibly have a draft environment. Every Doctor Who bull thing is blue-red. So there's so much blue-red stuff in there. I'm building a blue-red Fallout deck that's got a lot of Doctor Who cards in it.
Well, I started the Fallout TV series, so I guess I'm on the track, right? I'm on episode 2.
There you go.
I don't know how people restrain themselves. Like,
I don't know about Fallout.
the first episode went up at 3 a.m. EST, and I watched it. And then I woke up the next day and watched episode 1 again. And Corbin's like, it's been out for what, 2 months? Yeah, it's episode 1.
I figured I'd give it a shot. We had to binge Bridgerton when it came out.
Oof. I mean, I get it. I liked Fallout. I love Fallout as a game. Like Fallout 4 is one of my favorite video games of all time. I struggled to get episode to episode with Fallout. It's good, but I don't know. There's something about it.
Oh, I'll be honest, I kind of liked it. I'm like,
I like it.
It's my favorite TV show.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't like some other shows. Like I just watched Shogun and I could not stop from watching more of that. But I had to like tell myself, okay, I need to watch the next episode of Fallout.
I don't get that, but like there have been shows that people like that I haven't been like that. So
new Doctor Who's on. We've been watching that too.
I watched the Christopher Eccleston season when I was in college. Like I tried so hard to give Doctor Who a chance.
Okay, well, why don't you try giving the new Doctor a chance? All right, well, it sounds like we got some picks of the week for TV shows here. I'll finish Fallout, Jason. I fell asleep watching it last night, which maybe
Shut the up.
Bodes.
You don't
poorly,
deserve
but
Fallout. Stop watching.
I think I was just tired. I liked
Stop.
the show.
You don't deserve it. I'm not going
tired?
to let you finish Fallout.
Okay, Jason's
It's been
gonna
out for
block
a
my
month. You've
account.
seen an episode and a half, and you fell asleep.
I'm
You're
gonna
not
try.
allowed.
Well.
I'm gatekeeping. I'm
Okay.
gatekeeping Fallout.
Jason, we should just spoil all the stories in the show. Walton Goggins, his character is a ghoul. He's not a person
He's
anymore.
not a person.
Yes, I
Ruined the show for
saw
you.
that when they brought him back from the dead.
And Kyle MacLachlan plays his actual age.
Sure. All right. Well, that's that. You all can go watch Fallout if you want.
And
or
Twin
not.
Peaks.
Jason,
Watch
if
Twin
Jason
Peaks.
lets you, maybe you can. But Matt, thank you again.
If you haven't watched
for
it by now, but please watch
Yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
so good. And not everybody has Amazon Prime
It is
because
good.
Amazon's a scumbag company. I get it. Why would you have Amazon Prime? I'm basically admitting that I'm a piece of shit for having Amazon Prime. So, you know what? Don't watch Fallout.
There you go. Matt, thank you again for coming on the show. Where can
Thanks for
people
having
find
me.
you across the internet?
You can find me on pretty much any social
The
media
podcast
platform.
I'm on has 10 times as many listeners
Shut
as
up
yours.
and let him talk.
Yeah, I like to come on these smaller podcasts and give up and comers these some courtesy shouts. No, you can find me at Mathimus55 on pretty much any social media platform, on YouTube, at the EDHrec Cast. We do that every week. It's super fun, and we've been doing that for not near as long as you guys have, but still long enough to be old by Magic content creation
True.
standards.
Very true. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate you updating everyone as the Cardsphere because, look, having a peer-to-peer trading platform, I think is really important for the community, and it is good for people to be able to get updated on this and know if it's right for them. So we appreciate you coming on. Yeah. We appreciate all of you for listening. We appreciate our sponsors, MTG Stocks and Coalesce Apparel and Design, where you can use the gift code Brainstorm Brewery for 10% off your order.
They're still selling our stuff. Hey, Matt, how's your sale at Coalition?
Coalesce?
Coalition Apparel. God damn it. How are the EDHrec sales at Coalesce Apparel going?
The EDHrec, I mean, they're sold out. So
sold out.
They're sold out.
Well, unfortunately, you can't get any EDHrec gear because it's so popular it's sold out. But like lesser brands like Brainstorm Brewery still have plenty of good merch available because they did a restock of it. So definitely
go check it out.
Go check it out. Hey, they send you a booster pack.
It's hard to argue with that.
Does anybody else send you a free booster when you buy a shirt?
I don't think so. All right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. This is Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you next week.